just clicked live, and we are live. George Dagher, thank you for coming to our Facebook Live tonight, all the way from Lebanon. How are you, mate? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thanks. So today we're going to discuss a very important topic, and it makes a lot of difference in today's environment, which is the T-shaped skill set, and what does it mean to the restaurant business or the restaurant owner, or just to any entrepreneur in general. So can you tell us a little bit about what is the T-shaped term and what does it relate to?
Yeah, well, hello from Lebanon to all your Australians fans. Okay, to be honest with you, Mark, I'm not a real fan of shiny job titles and hierarchies in corporate. I think job titles are just made to make you feel better. But the term T-shaped marketeer is a concept everybody should understand, whether they're entrepreneurs or whether they're employees. So basically, a T-shaped marketer have a skill set that spans the foundational landscape of digital marketing. This is illustrated in the horizontal part of the T, and then the vertical part of the T represents the depth of knowledge and expertise in specific areas. So basically, to make it simple, it's how much do you know and how well you know it, right? For me, we are all the persons in every aspect of our lives, whether it's marketing, management, even your personal life, your hobbies. When we're born and when we're toddlers, we learn how to walk, eat, drink. We learn all these skills. We just don't learn just how to eat, except if you are me. I just learned how to eat till this day. So this is who we are. This is human nature to be a T-shaped person. And then you start getting interest in one of the skills, okay? For example, when I started as an entrepreneur, actually till this day, when they ask me what do you do, I tell them, well, I'm CEO, marketeer, and floor sweeper. I do a lot of stuff. I cannot just put a title to what I do here at our company. So let's go deeper into the concept.
Yeah. So okay. maybe talk about what makes the top part of the T, and then what's the deep part of the T, and what's the difference between the two?
Okay. So basically, let's start with base knowledge. Base knowledge is basically non-marketing specific areas that will suit you, that will suit you, and you like to do it, no matter what your job is. Okay, so this is base knowledge. So, for example, you're interested in behavior psychology or storytelling, or analysis, data, design. This is base knowledge. This is what you're interested in, this is what you love to do, and this is what you want to do. Now we go into the marketing side, and you want to apply skills in order to be able to widen, to broadcast what you love and what you do. So here we go to the marketing foundations. For example, if you like storytelling, you can go for copywriting, sketches, design, Canva, wireframes. If you like data and analytics, you can go for Google Analytics, statistics, funnel marketing, If you like branding, you can go for graphic design and stuff like that. So,
and that would be your base, you know, the top part of the team, correct? And then,
yes.
and sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Then what would be your deep knowledge in that case? It will be, it's whatever your knowledge is or whatever your main skill set is. That's your deep part, correct?
Yes. So before we go into that, okay, I need to have, as a marketer, I need to have all this set of skills. I need to know at least the minimum in each one of them. Okay, and that's the horizontal part of the team.
Yeah.
And then I go deeper because maybe I'm passionate about SEO. And I want to learn more about SEO and I want to practice SEO. I love this. Okay, so this is where I'm specialized in. This is the vertical part of the
vertical
team.
part of the thing. Yes. Then
basically it's the depth of my knowledge. How depth my knowledge is.
Like, for example, you could be, it doesn't have to have, you don't have to be a marketer to have that T-shaped skill set on you, you know, on you. It could be anything. You could be a restaurant owner that your specialty, your vertical part of T is running restaurants or managing restaurants or being the entrepreneur side of the restaurant business. Then on top of that, you've got the horizontal part of the T where you got an idea about cooking, an idea about kitchen, an idea about marketing, an idea about copywriting, an idea about media, about public relations, an idea about hiring, and an idea about pricing and food costs and all of that sort of stuff. Because then this, an idea about accounting, bookkeeping, finance, because that all of that will give you a higher chance to succeed in your operation. You know, even if you weren't a restaurant owner, you could be a chef, and then, you know, your specialty, you're a chef, you operate the kitchen side of the business, but on top of that, you understand bookkeeping, you understand marketing, you understand hiring, you understand other things. Look, in general, it doesn't have to be that deep of a skill set. But then all of a sudden, everything that you do around the kitchen, you also understand how would it affect or how would it improve other aspects of the business. So that's, you know, that's how it can be implemented in the restaurant business or in any other business. Would you tell us little bit more of scenarios of being a T-shaped entrepreneur, and then, you know, and how you could use that to your maximum advantage?
Yes, sure. So being T-shaped means that I'm focused on one skill, but at the same time, I know a little bit about other skills. And this will give me an advantage to be able to communicate with my team members and to be able to have to know every single member of my team, where does he stand in the team, okay? And having that that horizontal knowledge will make any team member replaceable to a certain extent. Let's say I'm not specialized in design, but I can do some design. And our designer is sick and we have something urgent to do. So here comes the importance of the horizontal knowledge. Okay, it all comes to the team communication and the communication and knowing what part of the puzzle you make and what part of each member is, which piece of the puzzle he is.
That's right. Yes. Another thing that using the T-shaped term in your business, you can also use it in hiring. hiring people that have a T-shaped skill set. So then,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Then you had 2 interviews or with different managers or with 2 different people. One of them has a vast knowledge about a lot of other things other than the core thing or the core skill set that you're about to hire them for. And then another person, you just have that, obviously you would go for the deep guy because he's going to understand, he would know how to communicate with your manager, with your marketing, with your front of house, with your suppliers, with yourself. So that's the beauty of being a T-shaped. How would you find or quantify a T-shaped person? How would you look for someone like that?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yes. How would you find a T-shaped skill set? Someone with a T-shaped skill set.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, let's say we want to hire a marketeer, okay? And well, everybody's a marketeer, but we want him to be specialized in SEO. From the first interview and from his CV, you will first notice where his focus is. You will know if he is focused and passionate about SEO or not, and this is where you screen. And then of course you will see within the interview you're gonna ask him questions and see passionately what he's doing. Maybe he knows we're looking for someone specialized in SEO and he's gonna tell you, well, I like it. It's gonna show sooner or later his knowledge and his depth of knowledge and all that. So let's go out a little bit. Hiring is one of the hardest things an entrepreneur can do. So I think that's why there are HR agencies. Hiring is one of the hardest things I've ever encountered in my career. And I'll tell you why, Mark, because firing someone is very hard. Sometimes you go into an interview, you love the guy, you love him. He's perfect. He is exactly what you need. You hire him, the next day he comes, the second day he comes, the next week he comes, you realize he's not fit for your organization. And it's hard to tell him to go out. It's hard to fire him. It's very hard, especially in medium and small companies, because you connect with people. Because you're not in a big mega corporate company. You live with him every day, and it's hard to fire him. And sometimes you discover he's not fit for what you want the next week, and it takes 6 or 7 months of lost money, lost time, and lost energy for him to leave.
That's correct. Yes. Well, look, one of the strategies that we use in our business is it's called you put the feelers out, which means you always put job applications out at all times, because sometimes even if you're not looking for someone, you might put your hands on someone that's worth hiring straight away. So don't only look for people when you only need to hire people. Look for people at all times, and then you might be able to hire someone on the spot. You might be able to hire them later on, but never ever go to market only when you need someone. So that's one of the strategies that will give you a little bit of a list and a little bit of options to pick and choose, and in a way that you're not in a rush and you're not under pressure. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things.
I'm sure you know the term lost opportunity, where businesses find that they didn't catch the right moment or the right opportunity. For me, a lost opportunity is basically someone who has skills and you weren't able to hire them for any reason. This is the most important lost opportunity you can have in a business, because at the end of the day, you're not hiring him, you're not upgrading your services, and he's gonna get hired by your competitors.
That's correct. And it's being a T-shaped talent, I believe it's very important today during COVID-19 or during coronavirus, because one person can replace 2 or 3 people in your organization. You know, you get the maximum return on investment out of one person if you're smart in the way that you research and the way that you look for people. What would you say about that, George? Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, well, having a T-shaped personality, and especially the horizontal part, would give flexibility to the team. The team would be able to somehow function with 2 members, 10 members, or 15 members, and your team can go up and down as this, and your results will not be as much effective, or will not be proportionally affected, and especially in time of crisis. For example, during the pandemic, you might downs, or during a bad economy, you can downsize your team, being affected in the quality.
Okay. Then there is the other part, having that skill set, the horizontal skill set and the vertical skill set. It makes you hard to fire. You know, people will think 10 times before they fire you. They probably fire a lot of people in the organization before they even think of firing you, because you pretty much represent 2 or 3 or 4 talents in you just being there inside the business. So again, especially during a recession times, downturn, during this time now, it's very, very valuable currency for being a person with a multi skill set. And I guarantee you today, if you go and look up businesses today and you find which people they kept on board, because they fired a lot of people, but which people they kept on board, they kept the ones that they have a multi skill set that's going to help them out in different ways. That's who's staying on board today. And that's, if you want to keep your job in the next pandemic, or you want to get a job today, you better start adding skills on top of your list.
Exactly. I tell my team, your job title is, you are a joker. You know, in the playing card, you have the joker, where it's a wild card. You are a wild card. I don't care if you don't know graphic design, you're gonna learn it. If we need it, you're gonna learn it. We need to learn it. We all started somewhere there. I started not knowing anything about websites. Then one day, one client asked me, well, I need to build a website. Of course, we know, we do websites. We've always done that. So I went out. I was alone. I started alone, working alone. So I went out and searched how you can do a website. Of course, I needed help from other people where their vertical knowledge, their depth of knowledge is building websites. But if I didn't know anything about how a website functions, or what code do you use, is it HTML, PHP, or Java, or whatever code you're using to build a website, I wouldn't have landed the job. And then later on, you get someone asking for a mobile app, which is completely different than a website. But if you have an idea, you can go. You can have, there are two types of mobile apps: native, where you build the code for iOS, and another code for Play Store. And you have the hybrid, which is one code, and you can launch it on both apps. Sometimes you just need to know the basics in order to convince your clients that you're fit to do the job. And later on, this is where I was talking about the communication. You come back to the office, or if you don't have an office, if you don't have a team, you go and see a freelancer, and you tell him, look, we have this job. How can we prepare a proposal? What are the technicals? Give me your opinion. Can this be done? Can this not be done? And all that. And by the way, your knowledge in sectors or parts where you're not specialized, and the more you know, the more you can manage your teams. The more you know about, for example, graphic design, the more you know that this specific task can be done or cannot be done. Usually all tasks can be done. But at least you know how much time they need to finish this specific task. If you know nothing, it can go forever, and you'll think that it's something hard to do. Same thing with the websites, same thing with SEO and all that. And more importantly, with results. Sometimes if you're not getting good results from, let's say, email marketing, and you know nothing about it, you will think that it's not gonna work. For this specific client, email marketing is not the right channel to promote or to market for. But if you do know, you will know that there might be something wrong in the settings, in the audience, in the content, maybe. So here you can interact, and you can just give your input, even though it's not deep, even though it's not you're not finding the right solution, but you may be guiding your team in finding themselves the right solution.
George, thank you very much for your time with us. Is there any last word you would like to add?
First of all, thank you very much for having me all the way from Australia. I just want to tell your audience that I've known you since years, and I know how dedicated you are in your work, and I'm sure the ones that are watching, that are working with you, I'm sure they know how valuable you can be for companies, and I invite those who don't work with you to give it a try. They will not regret.
Tell us about your agency, George, and what do you do, and how, if someone wants to get in touch with you.
Yeah, well, we are Digital Echoes. We're a company based in Lebanon, but we serve based in Lebanon, Qatar also. We serve almost every country. We specialize in marketing, basically, and mainly digital. We are passionate about what we do. That's our key. Our why is to help entrepreneurs build their businesses, not just to build their businesses, but because we believe that entrepreneurs are the foundation of any economy. and that's our why. We have our website, digitalechoes.net. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the channels.
Brilliant, man. George, thank you very much once again, and I look forward to another call.
Sure, soon.